Hey everyone, welcome back. In this particular video, we are going to see what exactly is a fishlet and how we can create our own custom fishlet or basic level fishlet. Okay, so without wasting time, let's get started. So before starting, here is a quick disclaimer. This video and this course is only for educational and research purpose only. Don't misuse this knowledge. If you are going to misuse this knowledge, then I'll be not responsible for your actions or whatever the counter action which will be taken by the corresponding authorities or government. So check your legal boundaries, stay in your legal boundaries and practice in your control environment. Okay, so let me share my screen. So before starting the video, let's do one thing. Let's take a quick overview of what we have done in the last video, in the configuration video. Okay, so let me tell you what we have done. So if I open my VS Code, can you see right here I'm able to see my server. So basically we connected our VS Code to our server so that whatever the files there are on the server, we can edit in our VS Code, in our computer, in our local. And once I edit that file, it will be automatically updated on the VS Code also. Another thing is, if I click on the new terminal and open the terminal right here, it will automatically open SSH connection to the my server. So whatever the commands I execute here, obviously that are going to be executed on server through the SSH connection. The third thing we did is basically adding the DNS records. Okay, these are the two records that we have added in the last video. And the last and fourth thing that we have done is we edited the configuration file of the Evilginx. So if I want to check the configuration file of the Evilginx, what I can do is I can click on the .evilginx folder right here, and there is a file called config.json. So if I click on that particular file, can you see right here, this is the configuration that we have changed. We changed the DNS port, we added the domain, we added the external IPv4 address. Okay, so yeah, that's all the important configuration changes that we have done in the last video. Okay, so in this particular video, let's continue with the fishlet. So if you know, then Evilginx store all of the fishlets by default in the folder called fishlet. So this is the folder which is called the fishlet. So let's click on that particular folder. When I click on that particular folder, I get two files, example.yml, which is default file created by the Evilginx when we run the Evilginx. And there is another file called FluxxSet.yml. So if you remember, we created another copy of the example.yml with the name FluxxSet.yml, just to show how the fishlets are looking into the Evilginx window when we start. Okay, so when we start right here, Evilginx, it looks something like this. It lists down the all fishlets. So that's why we created another example fishlet, which is FluxxSet. Okay, so let's open that particular fishlet and we are going to understand everything with the help of this particular fishlet. So let's do one thing. As you know, this is the copy of the example fishlet. So content of this particular example fishlet and FluxxSet fishlet is going to be exactly same. So don't confuse yourself. This is just an example to explain you what is happening. Okay, so let's understand how fishlet works and let's try to decode the fishlet and let's see what exactly is happening in the fishlet. So let me do one thing. Let me divide fishlet in few parts. So let's say this is the first part, this is the second, and obviously this is the third part right here, which is starting from the auth tokens, then credentials part, and then we have the login part. So roughly we divided fishlet into the 6 part. So what exactly is the first part right here? So it is saying minimum version 3.0.0. So Evilginx software has a lot of versions starting from 1 to the 3.3. So latest version is 3.3. You can check right here in the terminal. When we ran our Evilginx setup, we got version 3.3.0, right? So basically, in order to tell the Evilginx in which version this particular fishlet will work, so that's why we are mentioning the minimum version, because it might be possible that someone is creating the fishlet last year, right, and we are trying to run that fishlet in this year and versions are not matching. So in that case, how the user will know which fishlet belongs to the which version, right? So that's why they have added this particular minimum version line. So by using this particular line, we are able to see whether this Fishlet will work on this particular server or not. Okay, so for V, by default they are setting to the 3.0.0. Okay, so that's it. Then we have the proxy host. Okay, so in order to understand the proxy host, first we need to start creating the Fishlet itself. Okay, start doing the practical itself, then we will understand the proxy host. So let me do one thing. Let me open the Firefox. So let's grab the Firefox right here, and let's right click on the screen and click on the inspect element. So you might be wondering why I'm using Firefox, why not the Chrome? Because in the Firefox we can easily monitor the network session, and in the network section the host header is by default displayed. Let me show you how. So the Fishlet we are going to create is the FluxxSet.com. For FluxxSet.com website we are going to create the Fishlet. So let me enter the FluxxSet.com, and this is the website. So can you see we are able to see all of the network requests, and here we are able to see the domain also, to which domain it is sending the request. So we have FluxxSet.com, then here we have Google Tag Manager.com, then further we have Google Analytics.com. Okay, so in total we have the three domains to which the website is communicating, right? So even if I click on the sign up, even if I click on the login, even if I go to the all different pages of the website, these are the only three domains that to which the website is going to send the request. First is obviously the fluxxset.com. Important, it's a fluxxset.com, not www.fluxxset.com. Two are different things. Okay, it is only fluxxset.com. The second thing is obviously Google Analytics.com, Google-Analytics.com, and the third which we saw was something right here. Yeah, Google Tag Manager.com. Okay, so these are the three domain names. So basically, in the proxy host, what we do is we add the information about the backend domains to which the website is sending requests. Okay, so hence we have three. We will just make the copy of existing one. Okay, and I will say the first domain is right here. So the first domain is obviously the fluxxset.com. Either you can type, or what you can do is you can go here and you can copy from here. Okay, so I prefer copy. So let's go back right here, and in the place of the domain we can add right here fluxxset.com. Okay, now let's decode the proxy host. When we add the proxy host, we need to give additional information about the proxy host. Proxy host is not like we just keep adding the domains that we see in the developer menu as it is. No, we can't. So let's decode the proxy host. Obviously, it has the domain option where we can add the domain. Then it has the original subdomain option. So if you go back to our Firefox, can you see is there any subdomain? No, there is no subdomain. So what you can do here is you can make this particular field empty. So original subdomain is empty. What is the phishing subdomain? So to which subdomain you want to map, or what is the phishing domain subdomain that you need to create? So hence the original subdomain is also empty. I'll just keep this particular subdomain also empty so that it will match with the original website. Then there is a session which is set to true. So what exactly is the session? So if I go into the storage section right here, then I'll be able to see the cookies. That means fluxxset.com is able to add the cookies. So that means it has a session. So that's what we can configure here. So we are going to set this session equal to true because we have the cookies for fluxxset.com. Then is landing equals to true. That means whether the fluxxset.com is a landing page or not. So obviously it is a landing page. So if we go right here on the Firefox, can you see right here? It is the fluxxset.com page, which is the basically landing page, right? So we are going to keep the true. Then there is a auto filter equals to true. So what is the auto filter? So basically in the right here, whatever the rules we are going to write, whether these rules will be automatically applied to this particular proxy host or not. So that's we are going to mention here. So we are going to keep this true because we want the rules to be applied, because in the rules we can do lot of stuff, like I can change the name of the website, I can change the specific thing in the website, right? So that's why the rules are really important. Okay, now we added the fluxxset.com, but what if someone sent request to the www.fluxxset.com? Then what we will do? I know that www.fluxxset.com is not present right here in the network session, so there is a no need to add, but the www.fluxxset.com is a most common, or www is a most common subdomain used across the world, right? So I'm not sure what will happen, but let's see. Let's open another tab, click on the inspect element, go to the network tab and paste the URL once again, and here type www.fluxxset.com and let's see what is happening. So it is basically saying the website is not found. That means the www is not working, the subdomain is not working, but for some website it does. So in that case, what you can do is you can simply go here, and instead of the obviously you need to create the second line here, which will say domain equals to the fluxxset.com. Then phishing subdomain is going to be the www, and original subdomain needs to be the www. Okay, so that's what I could have done if the fluxxset.com has a www subdomain. Okay, so let's keep this line also because it's not going to harm anyway. So does this has a session? True. Is this a landing page? No. So I'll just make it false. Okay, so I have entered the false right here. Now let's go to the next host that we have. So if I open right here my Firefox browser and scroll little bit, I must see the Google Tag Manager right here. Okay, and it is using www. Okay, so let me copy the full host right here, go back to the my Fishlet, and instead of the domain I'll paste right here the hostname that I have copied. But remember, in the hostname we have the this particular main domain, then we have the subdomain. So we are going to remove that subdomain, and here we are going to tell the original subdomain is www, and in the phishing subdomain I will create www2. Why? Because I have limitation, I cannot create a phishing subdomain save. So here we kept empty, here we use www, that means we cannot use www again once again in the next line. So I use the www2. So suppose I got another website which has www original subdomain, then what I do? I cannot enter the same for phishing the subdomain because it's already used right here. So I should be entering like something else. Okay, so yeah, so this is the Google Tag Manager.com. One thing I would like to mention here, for few or for some host there is a no need to create the proxy host. Okay, for example, this is the website called googletagmanager.com, this is the endpoint called googletagmanager.com, but it is not directly associated with the website called fluxxset.com. It is just providing the analytics functionality for the website, right? So it is not necessarily need to be proxy host, but hence I am teaching how to proxy host, I'm including in this particular video, but there is a no need to basically do the proxy host for this particular host. Okay, okay, so let's move forward. So let me open the Firefox browser once again and let's see what else I got. So here I got the Google Analytics. Okay, again, there is a no need to create the proxy host for Google Analytics, as when we create the proxy for using the Evilginx, we usually disable the Google Analytics service. Okay, but in case if you want to create a proxy, here is the thing: you just copy this particular host, go back to the Fishlet, uh, sorry, let's paste it right here as of now, and we will copy this, and here then we will enter instead of the FluxxSet, basically in place of the domain. Okay, and the original subdomain is www, and phishing subdomain can be the www3. because www is already taken, so we cannot use that. And here uh, this is not a landing. Okay, so is landing will be the false for all of these. Okay. Um, so yeah, we completed the proxy host right here. So this is the like simplest possible example for the proxy host. So let's say my website is sending a request to the another subdomain also, like hypothetical scenario. Or let's do one thing. Let's open another browser right here, and in case let's say people are going to the higher dot fluxxset.com. Okay, so let's say someone is visiting hire.fluxxset.com and we need to create a fishlet for the hire.fluxxset.com, right? So in this case, can you see right here, the domain is hire.fluxxset.com. Then there is another domain called font.googleapis.com, right? So if you scroll, there is a Google Tag Manager.com. If you scroll further, there is a www.youtube.com is also there, right? So if you go here, www.gstatic.com is also there. Then we have other domains also. So in that case, what could you could have done in this particular case? Then if let's suppose I want to proxy the host called hire also, then what could I have done is I could have just copied this particular first line, paste it right here. The original subdomain could be the hire, and obviously the phishing subdomain could be the hire. If it has a landing page, then I will set to the is landing equal to true. And if it is does not have a landing page, it is just making the API calls in the backend, then I could have made this false. Okay, so let's suppose if this Phishlet is designed for the fluxxset.com, the main website, this website. Okay, then hire.fluxxset.com is not having any landing page, right? So that means I can make it the false, right? This, okay, false, right? And if I am creating a fishlet for, let's say, this website, then I could make this particular false equals to true. Okay, as simple as that. So hence this hire.fluxxset.com is not in this particular scope. I'll just remove it. But you got the idea how to create fishy proxy host, right? So if you have any doubt about the proxy host, please let me know, because sometimes it is little bit hard to understand for newcomers how to create a proxy host. So basically we check all the host where the website is making the request, and we add those in the proxy host. That's the simplest explanation. If you are advanced user or intermediate user, then you can go in the details like which host needs to be proxy host and which can be skipped. Okay, that's the advanced or intermediate user can do. But if you are a complete beginner, just do the go to the website and open the network tab and refresh the website, and whatever domain you see in this particular list right here, just create the proxy host for that. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, and the one rule of the proxy host is obviously you cannot use the phishing subdomain repeatedly. So that's why the original subdomain for all of these domain is www, but here in the phishing subdomain I am using www, then www2 and www3. Okay, now let's move to the sub filter. So what exactly is a sub filter? Sub filter is a really important tool. Basically, let's suppose when you create a phishing website from the fluxxset.com, you want to replace something in the website, then how you do it. Okay, so let me give you an example. So this is the fluxxset.com website, right? Okay, but can you see right here we have button called login. So let's suppose you want to make this button uh, test login. Okay, test login or text x login or something like that. So how you can do that? So first of all, you need to check where on which page you want to change or on which domain you want to change. Obviously I want to change on the fluxxset.com. So what I can do is I can go to the fishlet. Here I will say triggers on fluxxset.com. Okay, and then original subdomain is nothing, the empty, because it doesn't have any subdomain. Then the domain name is going to be the fluxxset.com again. Search for login, search for login, and make sure that you are entering the exactly same string. Okay, so instead of just typing your own string, what you can do is right click on this particular login button, and here you can type copy this particular login word, okay, and paste as it is. Okay, so let me go here. See, I did one mistake. I typed L capital and I small, right? But the original string is something like this, login, right? So I'm going to say search for login and replace with, let's say, test log. Okay, something like this. Okay, so it's up to us what we write here, and we can replace with the anything basically. And where to replace, where the software should search for that particular login string, it should search in the text HTML. Okay, similarly we have text JavaScript, similarly we have application JavaScript. Basically we can search in the any MIME type, it can be anything. So let's do one thing, let's add few more MIME type. So initially we had the text HTML. So let me just replace this text HTML with the text HTML, then text JavaScript, application JSON, application JavaScript, application X JavaScript. So you might be wondering why I am adding the all MIME type, because I don't know from where this login is coming from. So if I go right here, so in the network session, and if I go to the first request, which is document request, okay, which is text HTML request. So if I go in the response of this particular request, I'm not able to see the login here. Okay, even if I do control convert into the raw and search for, let's say, login, can you see I'm not able to search for login? Okay, so that's why I don't know from which request this login string is coming. It might be the JSON, it might be the application JavaScript, it can be the in hard coded JavaScript, it can be anything. So that's why I am entering the all MIME type, which is text HTML is also there, text JavaScript is also there. In case the login string is coming from JavaScript, I can replace in the JavaScript, right? But if you know something is coming from somewhere, then you don't need to use all of this shit. You can just use only one MIME type. Let me give you an example. Okay, let me copy this right here, and let's go here and let's check the HTML request. So this is the HTML request, right? If you check the response of this particular request, can you see something is coming? This FluxxSet name is coming from the HTML, the FluxxSet name. That means, let me check where the FluxxSet is written. So here is also the FluxxSet written. Okay, so that's coming from the backend. Okay, that's coming from the HTML request. Can you see right here, welcome to the FluxxSet server, whatever it is written right here also, right? So that means it is coming from the HTML. So what I will do, I'll just copy that particular word FluxxSet, this word FluxxSet, or I can just copy from here also. I think, is it? No, shit. Anyway, I can type the word without any mistake, right? So I'll say search for the uh FluxxSet. Okay, search for the FluxxSet. Let me check once again if S is capital. Yes, S is capital. So don't do these mistakes. Okay. So search for FluxxSet and replace with the custom set. Okay, something like this, and search this only in the HTML. Okay, because see, I can see that this request is type is HTML, so that's why. If it has a different type, then I could have included the any whatever it is. Okay, so in this case I can just remove all MIME type and just keep the text HTML. Okay, so let's keep this particular text HTML. Okay, so let me remove this particular for syntax error because there was a two double quotes. Anyway, auth token section. So what exactly is the auth token section? Okay, I hope you understand the sub filters. If you have any doubts in the sub filter, let me know. There are advanced uses of the sub filter also that I will be covering in the next parts. So as of now, just try to stick with the basic functioning of the sub filter. Otherwise, it will go over the head and it will confuse you, right? So let's go ahead and let's go to the auth token. So what exactly is the auth token? So as you know, in the Evilginx, when we create the phishing website, we have ability to capture the cookies and we have ability to capture the credentials also. So that's where the auth tokens and credentials come. So in the auth token section, we can capture the cookies, and in the credential sections, we can capture username and password of the user. So how to check which cookies to capture? First of all, we need to go to the browser, and in the browser we can go to the storage and the cookies. So in the cookies we can see the list of the website. In my case, I have https fluxxset.com. So can you see for fluxxset.com what are the cookies that being set? So first cookie is saying which is form session, that's the cookie name, and the second cookie is underscore ga whatever. So these are the four cookies that are going to be set. Okay, how exactly I can copy those cookies? So basically I can copy this particular name here. So let me just copy, go back here, and I will say capture this particular cookie. Then I'll once again go back and I will say capture that GA also. That means the second cookie. And similarly, I can provide the list of the cookies. Okay, I can provide the multiple list of the cookies like this. What is the value of the domain that you should be setting? So when you capture the cookie, let's say this form session, can you see right here there is a one option called domain? Okay, so in the place of the domain, which value you are able to see? Fluxxset.com. Okay, and for GA, what is the value you are able to see? This .fluxxset.com, right? So what you can do is you can just copy that value as it is and set right here. Okay, set right here. So there was a fluxxset.com is also there, and .fluxxset.com is also there. So I will just create another instance for .fluxxset.com. Okay, something like this. So in this case, there is no need to mention this particular form session because only underscore ga has a .fluxxset.com, and for this particular forum section domain, it has only the fluxxset.com. Okay, done. So this is how you can add the auth tokens right here. You have option to add something called regex, so that you can capture all the cookies. It doesn't matter if it is using the form session or name or anything. You can capture all of the cookies. That's also available, but I'll show it later. So as of now, just understand this is how you capture the cookies. Okay, so I enter the domain name and I enter the cookie name. Okay, so in the credentials, we can capture the username and password right here. So let me show you how. So if I go to the website right here and if I click on the login, what I get? I get right here username that I can enter and there is a password I can enter. So when I click on the login, first let me go to the network session. When I click on the login, from which name it is sending request to the backend, that we need to change, right? So let me hit the login button right here and it will send request to the login right here, the post request, the very first request. And if I click on the request parameter right here, it should show me the contents that is being sent to the backend. So right now it is not showing the content that was sent to the backend somehow. So I'm assuming something is wrong right here, but let's go back to the first, and the headers is also not visible and nothing is visible. Don't worry, let's go back and let's go here, log out once again click on the login, and in the login page what I can do is I can right click on the this username space, right? And uh here I can find the name that is being used, because when website is sending the data to the backend, it usually sends with the name that they are using. Okay, so here let's say they are using the username. Okay, so name equals to username, that should be there, but it is not there. So I'm just taking the guess that they are using name called username. Okay, and I'm just taking the guess that they are using the password name as a password to send the password to the backend. Okay, it can be different also. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's take one more example because this is little bit complex to understand, little bit hard to understand. So let's say there is a website called firefly.in. Okay, and for this website we need to capture the credentials. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to the login page and I will check the network request. So let's say my email is info at whatever it is.com. Okay, and the password is just a random string. And when I click on this sign in, can you see this post request is being made, this first one, right? So when I click on that particular request, and if I check the contents of the request, can you see email is being sent with the name of the login and the password is saying with the name of the password. So in that case, what can I do? Here in the key, I can enter login, and in the case of password, I can enter the password which is already entered, right? So this is how we can do. But in our case, for let's say this particular FluxxSet.com, I think it is using username and password. There is no way to discover because we need to add the proxy, check by ourselves what is the content of the request, and then decide. So like it will take a little bit time to do that. So that's why I'm just taking the guess. They are using the username here, the password right here. Okay, so this is just a guess, purely guess. If it is not working, then I'll try using the email and the password. If it is not working, then I will say login, password, phone number, password, something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead now. In the login session, what we need to do, login is the sixth section here, what we should be doing. So in the login session, we can enter the landing URL. So whenever someone is accessing my phishing link, where they should be landing? Should they land on the login page directly? Should be they landing on the landing page? Should be they landing on somewhere else, right? So let's say I will say like when someone enters my phishing link, they should be seeing this page in the first place. This page, okay, not this page, this page. So for that, what can I do is I can just copy this particular FluxxSet.com, go back right here, and this is the page, and then I'll go back and I'll copy the path of the page. Okay, so here I'll enter the path of the page. Okay, so in case you want to land on the this basic page or something like this, then what you can do is you can say land on the slash instead of this, all of this. You can just say land on the slash right here. Okay, so this is you should be doing. So anyway, I'll just add this particular path so that we can land on the welcome page, which is this one. Okay, so yeah, I think we completed our Phishlet. So let's do one thing. Let's save this particular Phishlet using Control S. Open our terminal. So in my case, the terminal is already there. And one more thing we forgot. Thing we forgot. We creating the Phishlet for FluxxSet.com. So it might be possible that somewhere in the website FluxxSet.com is hard coded. So let me show you something. So let's say I open the website called FluxxSet.com right here. Okay, when I click on this particular link and click on the inspect element, let's see what I can see right here. Okay, so it is saying /t/FluxxSet. Okay, that's great. But somewhere in the website, I'm sure that it will be hard coded the FluxxSet.com. So I'll say FluxxSet.com and I'll search for it. Yeah. So in the links, we have FluxxSet.com. So when we are creating the phishing link, it should be saying phishing domain there, right? Instead of FluxxSet.com, we should be saying opentfcloud.com, which is our phishing domain. So what I can do is I can copy this particular first subfilter, paste it right here. I'll say triggers on FluxxSet.com. I'll say trigger original subdomain is empty because there is no original subdomain. Domain is obviously the FluxxSet.com, and we need to search for the string FluxxSet.com, and we need to replace that string with the opentfcloud.com. Okay, so this is this string, and obviously MIME type will be the all because I want to search in the all types of the files and replace it. Okay, great. So let's save it, and we have completed our basic Phishlet. So for 99% website, you can use this particular way to create a Phishlet, right? It will work. only few websites are there that are a little bit complex and that requires intermediate and advanced level Fishlets. Okay, so without wasting time, let's go on the terminal right here and let's run the Evilginx once again. Okay, so let me clear the screen, do ls and dot slash Evilginx. I will run the Evilginx. Okay, so now the Evilginx is running. But here I have FluxxSet Fishlet is loaded, but there is a no host name set yet. So let's do one thing. Let's set the host name. So I'll say Fishlet host name FluxxSet, and the host name will be this opentfcloud.com. Okay, so this is going to be the host name because that's where I want to create the phishing website. Okay, then if I do Fishlets now, my Fishlets will have host name. Now let me enable the Fishlet. So I'll say Fishlet enable FluxxSet. FluxxSet is the name of the Fishlet. So when I enable the Fishlet, it will be automatically start taking the SSL certificate for the proxy host that I have entered. So here it is saying the 4 TLS certificates being fetched. Which 4? Obviously the first is going to be the opentfcloud.com because there is no subdomain name. Then there will be www.opentfcloud.com. Then third will be the www2.opentfcloud.com, and similarly for www3. So in case you want to check which SSL certificate being used here, so what you can do is you can go here in the local folder, then you will file cert magic right here. Inside a local there is a share folder, in the share folder there is a cert magic. So inside cert magic there is a certificates. In the certificates you will find the domains where for which they are getting the SSL certificates, right? opentfcloud.com, www.opentfcloud.com, and as I said for rest of this. Okay, so let me close this one. Now we have successfully created the phishing website, but how we can access, to which URL we can access? So for that we need to tell to create the phishing URL. So for that we can use lures, LURES. So when I say lures, it will say no URL is created right here. Okay, so I'll say lures create fluxxset.com. Oh sorry, the FluxxSet, the my Phishlet name is FluxxSet, right? And it will create the URL for me, and the ID of the URL is 0 right here. Okay, so again I can say lores and enter, and can you see I have URL. So how can I get the full URL? I can say yes lores get dash URL and ID 0, and that will give me the full URL. So let me just copy that particular phishing URL. Let me copy that phishing URL, go to the browser, open the new tab, and here I will enter that particular phishing URL. Okay, and let's see. Voila, our phishing website is live. The original website is on here, the fluxxset.com, and the phishing website we created on the opentfcloud.com. Okay, and as we said, when someone enters the phishing link, they should be directed to the welcome page, which is this page. This is the path. Okay, so if you want to check in the Fishlet, at the end we use this particular path right here. Okay, I hope you understand everything. So let's wait for some time until this everything is getting loaded. Okay, one more thing, suppose you don't want to enter this particular phishing link once every single time, like this RKI whatever it is, right? Because it's like confusing. So what you can do is, let me stop this one also. What you can do is you can go back to the your server right here, and you can say lures, LURES. Okay, and here you can say lures edit 0. Why 0? Because ID 0. Then edit the path and set to the slash. Okay, and again I can say lures, and can you see this path is changed to the slash? That means we don't need to go to the every single time fluxxset.com/rik whatever, right, to send user to the phishing domain. So yeah, that's why we added this slash path here, right? So if I instead of this particular URL, I can just say slash here and enter, and it will again open the FluxxSet.com website really easily. Okay. Okay, so it might be possible that some web user will not enter the path slash. They might directly visit, let's say, slash twwelcome.com, whatever it is, right? So in that case, what should happen? So what you can do is you can add unauth URL. Go to the Evilginx, go to the config.json, first exit from here, okay? First exit from here. And here can you see the unauthenticated URL set to the YouTube. That means if someone is entering the wrong URL. So let me enter the wrong URL. So let's say I enter the wrong URL, something like this, okay? And hit the enter. Then it will be automatically redirected to the YouTube. Okay, so whatever the YouTube is there, it will automatically redirect to the YouTube. Why? Because it's mentioned in right here. Okay, so what you can do is you can say if someone is unauthenticated, then authenticate them automatically. So what you can do is you can just copy this opentfcloud.com, first exit from here, copy this and paste it right here. So if someone is entering any wrong URL, then send them to the https://opentfcloud.com/. Okay, and hence we have also created slash for loads right here. It will automatically authenticate that user. Let me give you an example. Let's start the Evilginx. Let's go to our browser right here, and okay, so let's close this all of this shit. Okay, and let's go back here and just copy this opentfcloud.com, or you can say loads get dash URL and 0. Okay, it is giving me exact same URL. Okay, so let's me copy that particular URL. How can I? Okay, it's copied. Okay, let me copy that URL, go back to the Firefox and paste it right here, opentfcloud.com, and let's wait for the website to load. Okay, so right now it is constantly saying, see here, it's constantly redirecting. Okay, so it might be the issue of the cache. Okay, so what I will do, I'll quickly go here and I'll delete all of the cookies. Okay, and then once again I will try. Again same thing is happening. Oh, why same thing is happening once again? Let me go back to the my Evilginx setup. Oh, blacklist. Okay, so what you need to do is also type the help right here and turn off the blacklist. Okay, this blacklist needs to be off. Okay, now we are ready to go. Now let me go back right here and hit enter, and now it should load the website. Okay, so let me wait until this website is getting loaded. My server like my server is hosted in some other country, and this phishing server is hosted in the some other country, so that's why it might be taking the time. Okay, so let's wait until this website is getting fully loaded so that we can check the. Okay, it's loaded. Great. So let's check the our Fishlet. Whatever we entered the Fishlet, whether it is reflecting on the pages or not. First thing we did, creating phishing domain, which is opentfcloud.com. Great, it's created. Original is FluxxSet.com. Phishing is opencloudtf.com. Great. Then we said that replace all FluxxSet name with the custom set. Here, right here, right here. So we said the FluxxSet should be replaced with the custom set. So can you see on the website, I am able to see custom set here. In the top also it is saying custom set. But here it is saying FluxxSet in the original website. In our site, it is saying custom set. Great. The next thing we did is replace login button with the test log button. So can you see right here? It is saying the test log instead of login. So if I go to the original website, it's saying login, but in this website, it's saying test log. Great. The second thing we did is replace all FluxxSet.com with the opencloudtf.com. Great, that will be done. Then we entered the By the way, if you want to check the proxy host, then what you can do is you can just inspect element, refresh this particular phishing link. And in the network session, can you see all the requests are going to the opencloudtf.com. Some requests are going to www.2.opencloudtf.com. Some will go to the www.3.opentfcloud.com. So whatever we created right here, it is sending request to them. Okay, apart from that, auth tokens. So how we can check if the auth tokens are captured or not? So in the Evilginx, we have functionality called sessions. So here I can say SESSIONS, which is sessions. So basically say in the session, we are able to see the sessions right here, but the name is not captured, the password is not captured, and obviously the token is also not captured. Why? First thing, obviously our user is didn't try to sign in or something, so that's why not. So let's do one thing. Let's go back to the Firefox right here. Click on the test login, which is the login. Okay, so click on the login, then click on the password. Let me paste my password. Then click on my username. Let me paste the username right here. Okay, and I'll save these credentials because I don't want to enter once again. Okay, I click on the login and let's wait until I log in. So yeah, right now I am logged in inside the website. So the username, password, the cookies, everything should be captured. Okay, so let's wait until this page shows the account logged in because it is taking a little bit time. Okay, can you see D right here and my username is dummy, whatever it is. So we are logged in right here on the opentfcloud.com. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go back right here. Can you see on the terminal it is saying password is captured and username is captured. Not only that, if I go to the sessions and if I hit enter, can you see right here it is saying the username is captured, which is dummy, the password is captured, which is this one. Okay, but the tokens are still not captured. Why the tokens are not captured? Because we did one mistake in the our Fishlet. So when we add auth tokens, we need to add here auth URLs also, right? So let me just go get that part for you. So basically we need to add the auth URLs also, right? So let's say I'm adding auth URL slash, because in my website the login page is opening on the same page. Okay, slash page is not going to the slash login. Let me give you an example. On this particular website, when I click on the login, where it is opening on the slash page. Okay, for some website there is a path called login to the login, but this website there is no path. So that's why I will say auth URL slash. Okay, let me save this particular Fishlet. Let me exit, clear this screen, and let me restart the Evilginx. Okay, and let's see if this time we are able to capture or not. So let me log out from here. I'll just delete all of the cookies. That will me automatically log out me. Okay, let's log out from here. Okay, so we have page it here. Go to the test login. Obviously I saved the login last time, so dummy and the whatever the password it is. Click on the login and let's wait until we get the login. So it looks like we logged in and we should see bunch of cookie right here. So let's see, let me close this one anyway. So let's wait for some time to see. By the way, this is slow in my case. It will be not in your case. It depends on your internet connectivity. It depends on your server size. My server is 1 core 1 GB for testing, right? So that might creating the load or something, right? And it depends on your website location also. Okay, so we have logged in right here. Let me go back in right here and we see lot of green here, which is great. So let's see sessions and see. So it is saying the FluxxSet Fishlet username is dummy, the password is captured this password, and token is also captured, and remote IP whatever it is, and the time is also there. So if I want to check the token, how we can check? So I can just say sessions and the session number, which is 4, that I want to check in the detail. I'll say 4 and it will give me all stuff. So can you see it is saying the domain fluxxset.com, the expiration, whatever it is. So basically it is capturing this particular token. So you can see exactly same token in right here also. Okay, so if I go to the inspect element storage right here also. Okay, so yeah, so that's all about the Evilginx basic fishlet. So by using basic fishlet, okay, by just learning from this particular video, you will be able to create the fishlet for 99% of the website, which are basic to intermediate. But there are some websites which are really complex and that requires creating advanced fishlet or intermediate level fishlet. For those websites, you need to check the further videos for advanced, creating the advanced fishlet, creating the intermediate fishlet, and that all stuff, right? But I have decided that until this video, I will make everything free, but after this video, whatever the advanced topics are there, I will make them topic paid. Okay, so the topics are creating the intermediate level fishlet, creating the advanced level fishlet, tips and tricks, creating the plugins for the Evilginx, and whatever else topics are there which are in the advanced levels. All of these topics video will be available on my website. You can do small payment and you can access those video, because see, YouTube doesn't pay well, or for my channel at least, I don't have monetization enabled at all. So I need a little bit financial support, so that's why I decided that let's make these advanced topics paid. You can buy me copy and you can access those advanced topic videos. And if you have any doubt, whether it's about the advanced topics, whether it's about whatever we discussed right now, you can just comment below and I'll try to answer. Or what you can do is you can go to the fluxxset.com also, on the website right here, and you can create the topic right here, and whole community will try to answer your topics, right? So yeah, that's the way to go. Or if you need any consultation from me, then you will find link in the bio where you can book the meeting with me, right? And we can have one-to-one call and we can discuss the details, right? But make sure that everything is about the educational only, educational purpose only, right? So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and don't forget to share this channel, share these all of these videos on your social platforms, and keep supporting me, and I'll try to bring best content to you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.